Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Rahul Pujari podcast. Today I have a very interesting guest, and it is Mohamed Hassan, who is actually the captain of the national basketball team of Qatar. He's also the captain of the Al Rayyan Sports Club, and he's famously known as Mizo Amin. He's a 29-year-old athlete who plays for FIBA, and he's here today to share his journey in basketball with us. He's also well educated and has read over 413 books. So, welcome to the episode, Mizo Amin sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Rahul. How are you doing?
I'm good too. All
First
right,
of all,
sir.
thanks for the nice intro.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
yeah.
Thanks.
So, sir, when did
Just
you
wanted
actually?
to,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, sir.
just wanted to clarify one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Since right now I'm injured and I do have a guy who's older than me on the team and he's my captain. Okay, just wanted to mention that right now. So I'm the former captain. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but currently I'm not since I'm outside of the team because of the injury and the team has already another guy who's the captain of Qatar national team. I am the team captain of Al Rayyan Sports Club currently, and a player, one of the players of Qatar national team. That's what I wanted to clear
All right,
out.
all right. So, sir, when did you actually start as the basketball team captain for the national team of Qatar? So, what did you do before that as well?
Okay, first of all, like any other player, I was just a player on the team,
Mm-hmm.
but I started my journey at an early age. Right, I started playing for the Qatar national team at the age of 16. Okay,
Oh, okay.
and that's a long time ago, almost 13 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I first joined the Qatar national team. I was the youngest to ever join the first team at that time
Mm-hmm.
until date, and was lucky enough to participate and to play for Qatar national team and to join the team who accomplished and won so many championships earlier in the stage of Asia and international competitions, whether
Mm-hmm.
if it was in the Gulf region or Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Years has passed, and I consider myself the middle child of Qatar basketball because I've witnessed the older generation and the new generation. Now, all of a sudden, I used to call the guys on my team big brothers. Now I have guys calling me big brother, right? So
Yeah.
that's when I became one of the oldest players to be on the team, not oldest in age, but oldest in
Time.
time of being a part of this basketball national team.
Mm.
And a couple of years earlier, I was selected in a championship in Wuhan to be the team captain
Oh, okay.
and to lead the new generation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, sir, was it your goal to be a basketball team captain all this while?
Honestly, like I never really thought about being the team captain, right? I always wanted to be a basketball player. I always loved basketball since I was a kid. I mean,
Mhm.
my father was a basketball player
Oh,
and
okay.
an international basketball player. I've
Okay.
always looked up to him, and I wanted to be like him exactly.
Right.
Being a team captain is something else. I just, I would say, I just got lucky. I was just chosen for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, sir, when did you actually start becoming the team captain?
Um, you mean in the club or in the national team?
In the national team.
Okay, in the national team, I think it was 2019, right?
Uh-huh, okay.
2019, in a tournament in China. We were preparing actually for the military World Cup in Wuhan. That was before the coronavirus pandemic,
Mhm.
right? And there I was the team captain of Qatar national team.
I have seen some of your clips from the China, the tournament, and yeah, it was some epic plays by you, sir. So, yeah. Also, sir, since you said that your father was also a basketball player, you really never had any sort of pressure coming from your parents to do something other than basketball, right? Like, did you have?
Uh, Honestly, yeah, if you can put it this way, right? I did have pressure, but in a different way. I had pressure always to be better than others, right? And um, to have a good work ethic, when it came to the game, right? But I never had the pressure that you are talking about, which is pressure
Right.
from parents to not play sports and to study more. I did not have that.
Okay.
The pressure was reversed into you will not be able to go to practice if you don't finish your homeworks. That's the type of pressure I had. Okay,
Mhm.
so it was just reversed.
Right.
Yeah.
So, sir, when did you come to Qatar? And yeah, were you born here?
I was not born here, but I came to Qatar when I was 4 weeks old.
Oh, okay.
Yes, like less
Hmm.
than a month. Yeah,
So, sir, do you have any role models in basketball that you look up to?
definitely. A lot of role models. My role model was Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Okay, definitely. I do have a lot of other players that each player I study, I try to learn something positive
Hmm.
from. Definitely, there are a lot of great players. Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Kobe Bryant was my Michael Jordan because I grew up watching him. Nowadays, I enjoy watching James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Stephen Curry, and before them, definitely, I loved the shooting form of Ray Allen. Those are the NBA players that I looked up to.
Right. Right.
Beside them, yeah, I grew up also watching players in our league that I studied their game, like Dawood, Musa Dawood, Chris Johnson, and many other shooting guards.
Mm,
Malik Salim was also one of them. So yeah.
mm. That's interesting. So, sir, can you tell us how you actually train in the national team? Like, can you give us some of your diet plans or maybe some important exercises that you do on a regular basis?
Okay. How do we train? Okay,
Yeah.
definitely. Just to explain to the people what is the difference between the national team and the club. Normally, in every country, the national team is the elite and the top players who represent the country, right? So among you have a league in every country. The league will contain a number of players, right? It can start from 100 to thousands of players,
Yeah.
and you get only to choose 12 players out of these numbers. Okay. So the national team, as I said, usually we will have camps that we shall have, let's say, 30 players. The coach will have to eliminate players to select his final 12, okay, who will participate and represent the country. So it's always like a knockout work, like knockouts, And how we train is normally we have a personal trainer, right? A fitness coach who is responsible for our fitness and our physique, right? Physical appearances and strength.
Right.
We also do have a fundamental coach who is responsible for the skills, to develop the skills.
Okay.
And we have the head coach. Beside them, definitely we have the team doctor and the massagers who are responsible for taking care of injuries and putting the right nutrition programs for each player according to his weight and body type, right? So it's done in a very professional way. Beside that, we also have the managers who can solve any problems that players shall face. So
Hmm.
that's probably the how every national team prepare,
Hmm.
and that's what we have here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, how would you actually describe, a perfect basketball player?
Um, Honestly, it's really tough. It's a very competitive sports. Basketball is one of the most competitive sports out there,
Yeah.
and to find the perfect player, that's arguable and that's debatable, a very debatable subject.
Yeah.
If we think about it and we start looking at the greatest, like if in every sport there are some great players that we look up to. For
Mm.
example, in basketball, we look up to Michael Jordan. He's like one of the greatest of all time. Arguably, some of the players would say LeBron James is, some will say Magic Johnson was, you know, and Kobe Bryant, and the list will go on. It's a very debatable subject. Same goes in boxing. Muhammad Ali was, to many of us, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Some boxers will tell you, no, I prefer Mike Tyson. Others would say, every single weight, there's a certain player. So describing the perfect player is a really tough question. Even in football, you cannot say that Pelé is the perfect player, or Maradona was the perfect player, or Messi, or Mo Salah, or Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, or
Yeah.
Neymar. Each one of them has his own style and his
Yeah.
own character and his own work ethic, right?
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So, sir, how did you build some good qualities in yourself, leadership qualities, in order to like coordinate between the players? Since you're the captain, you need to have some really good leadership qualities. So,
Yeah.
how do you train your, you know, mental toughness into becoming a very good captain?
First of all, I always try. I try my best. I cannot say that I'm a very good captain. I need to be humble about it, and I do believe in my philosophy that a leader is a reader, right?
Hmm.
With that being said, as you mentioned in the beginning, I read a lot of books
Yeah.
about leadership. If you just look here behind me, you'll
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
a lot of books, right? About
Yeah.
psychology, about leadership, about being able to motivate others, right? So, as I said, part of it comes to experience, part of it comes to reading, part of it comes to my character, my personality as a person, as a player that other players look up to, right, on the same team or on many different other teams. And as I said, part of it goes to reading, right? Because if you're
Mhm.
able to read, you will have a philosophy and you will learn from so many other people's mistakes, right?
Yeah.
You'll be able to have a successful formula, to deal with other humans in general.
So,
So
sir, can
that's it.
you recommend some books that you know for reading? Some of your books that some of the books that have inspired you a lot.
Uh, Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, if I'm going to select like a book, like I would go with, I would try like to recommend three books that
Hmm.
I'm going to show here. Okay, I'll show one of them. Okay, that is just a small book. Um, okay, man, a lot of books to select from,
Yeah.
but I would say these are my. Okay, this book was released
Uh-huh.
2020
Okay.
for a writer called Robert Greene, and this
Right.
book is called Laws of Human Nature.
Right. Okay.
A very big book, as you can see,
Yeah.
very valuable book that holds a lot of secrets of psychology.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and as I said, studying the greats, this book
Yeah.
studies Michael Jordan,
Hmm.
one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and it talks about his life. Also, a big book that I sometimes go to. Beside the documentaries like The Last Dance and all these nice Netflix shows that spoke about Michael Jordan in general, outside of basketball, how his character and personality was. On the personal side, this book to me is a must read and a must have.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
it's
heard
for
about
a
it.
guy called Timothy Ferris. It is called The 4 Hour Work Week
Yeah.
by Timothy Ferris. He spoke, as you can see here, it says, escape 9 to 5, right? Live
Yeah. Yeah.
anywhere and join the new rich.
Yep.
So this book also is one of the most valuable books for anyone to find out. Uh, this book here, right here, it says Awaken the Giant Within.
Hmm.
Now, this book was
Tony
written the
Robbins.
year I was born, 29 years ago. This
Oh,
book
okay.
right here,
Okay.
Awaken the Giant Within,
Uh-huh.
by Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
one of the most known
Thank
influencers,
you.
right?
Yeah.
And
Public speak.
humanity has known.
Yeah.
My final pickup will be, of course, definitely, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene.
Okay.
This is an absolute must have, must read. And I don't know what to say about this book. There's a lot of things to say about this book.
Uh-huh.
I wrote a complete review about this book earlier on Goodreads. Okay. I've had this books for years now. And this is And I want to say a few things about this book. Okay. As you can see, it's a big book.
Yep.
And from its name, The 48 Laws of Power, I have to say a few things. This book should be called The 48 Laws of Being a Scumbag, right? Because if you think that
Uh,
you're going to read this book and this is the way you're going to go about your life, you're fooling yourself. You're an idiot, all right? But there's a lot of real things, because this book is has the experience of 3,000 years old
okay.
human experiences in this book, real stories.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it
Hmm.
has different laws. Most of them might not be moral, it might not go with your morals, but in business, everybody goes by this book. I don't care if you're a basketball player, I don't care if you're starting your podcast, I don't
Hmm.
care if you're flipping burgers. This is a must read and a must have.
Okay.
Now, there's one another thing that I would say about this book. Um, I've read this book 9 times, right? And
Okay.
I've written my review about this book, and this book is one of the greatest books ever written. When they said what are the top 10 books that was ever written, some people did put the Bible, some people put the Quran, some people put religious books, and some people put this book. Okay. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene can have episodes, can have, you can just talk about this book forever, and
Uh,
there's so many things to learn from.
I think I'm going to
Last,
start with this book tonight.
you should.
Yeah.
Last thing is this book right here. It says how to be a great boss, winning rules to getting and keeping the
Mhm.
best employees. Okay. So, with that being said, those are my top selections. There are other things on self development, on money. Definitely, I had Robert Kiyosaki here, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
Yeah,
some
yeah,
other
yeah.
some other great books that definitely you know about. But those are my collection. That I would suggest any person to start reading if he wants to get into reading. Whether you can start by reading a novel like Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, or whatever you get, but you need to start. You need
Yep.
to start somewhere in your life. Whether if you're not a reader, you can listen to an audiobook. Right
Hmm.
now these things are available on YouTube, on Audible, on
Yep.
Amazon. I mean, as I said in the beginning of the episode, a leader is a reader.
Yep.
With that being said, that's my advice to the people listening to this podcast.
Thank you so
Right.
much for those suggestions. I'm sure at least one person will definitely check those out.